On entering the room, the first proceeding must have been to gag Mr. Blessington. Having secured Blessington, it is evident to me that a consultation of some sort was held, probably in the nature of a judicial proceeding. It must have lasted for some time, for it was then that the cigars were smoked. It was there that the older man sat, in the wicker chair. It was he who used the cigar holder. The younger man sat there. He knocked his ash off against the chest of drawers. The unknown fellow paced up and down. Blessington, I think, sat upright in the bed, but of that I cannot be absolutely certain. It ended, of course, by them taking Blessington. Now, this matter was so prearranged that it is my belief that they brought with them some sort of block or pulley to serve as a gallows. Oh, yes, a gallows, Inspector. This was a revenge ritual.
What an extraordinary story. But what proof?
I'll have it before the day's out.
You haven't explained about the screws and the screwdriver.
That was to fix up the block or pulley. But when they saw the chandelier hook, they naturally saved themselves the trouble. Now, Inspector, I suggest that you immediately make inquiries about the page and arrest him.
Certainly, Mr. Holmes.
I will be back here a little before 3 o'clock. Good day to you.
I dare say Mrs. Hudson will be a little put out when she sees all this. What are you looking for?
Worthington. W. Worthington. March. 1880, I'm sure.
March 80. January. February. March. Any good?
Watson.
Blessington.
Or Sutton, as he was known then. Mrs. Hudson.
Your little boat is coming along beautifully, Doctor.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Hudson. I must run.
Thank you.
Dr. Trevelyan, any news, Inspector?
Yes, sir, we've got the page, drinking his earnings 2 streets away.
And I've got the men.
You've got them?
Or at least I've got that identity.
The Worthington Bank gang?
Precisely.
Well, then Blessington must have been Sutton.
Exactly.
Well, that makes it clear as crystal.
Not to me, I'm afraid.
Dr. Watson, would you...
You may have heard of the great Worthington Bank affair. There were 5 men in it. The 3 who were in this room, a 4th named Cartwright, and Blessington.
All right, let's be gone. It's a hanging job now.
Only if someone squeals.
That's him. Are you positive? Oh, yes. That's him.
Satan! Satan, you're dead! Satan! Satan! Satan, you're dead! Satan!
Don't worry, Mr. Sutton.
Satan!
It's a hanging job now.
Satan! You here?
Sutton, or Blessington, who was the worst of the gang, turned informer. On his evidence, Cartwright was hanged, and the other 3 got 15 years apiece.
Biddle, Haywood, and Moffat were released from prison just a few weeks ago, which was several years before their full term. It was news of their release which caused Blessington to panic and have this house secured.
So it was not the fear of burglary that had frightened him?
No. That was a mere blind.
And so setting me up in practice was an elaborate charade to protect himself. Well, why could he not tell you this?
He was trying to hide his own identity from everybody for as long as he could.
His secret was shameful, and he couldn't bring himself to divulge it.
However, wretch as he was, he was still living under the shield of British law. And I have no doubt, Inspector, that we shall see that though that shield may fail to guard, the sword of justice is still there to avenge.